Welcome to another episode of the Nintendo Powercast, Nintendo News Daily. I'm your host, N64 Josh, and we are live. We are live at 9:30 in the morning. What is going on? I'm still sipping on some coffee in my Mario mug, and I'm so curious on who is going to come through the chat and what is going to be said exactly, because I know people are going to be like, what is happening right now? What is going on? But we're going to be doing the news. This may become a regular thing. I just got to I'm just kind of testing some things right now, but I would honestly love it going live at 9:30 a.m. and then at 9:30 or 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern, once or twice a day. Like, I'd be completely down for that. So that's that's tentatively the plan, but obviously things kind of come December, everything's going to kind of mellow out schedule wise. So just bear with me while I'm testing some things right now, but I think that's where it's going to end up landing. So we'll do the news in the morning, and then we'll do a topical chat in the evenings. And I'm excited about it. I'm really excited about it, honestly. So I want to let you guys know, if you head over to my TikTok, in the TikTok shop, if you're looking for a Switch 2 Pro controller, TikTok has the best deal I've found. When I claim all my coupons, I can get a Switch 2 Pro controller for $71. That's free shipping, tax, everything. $71 is where it comes, what it comes out to. So if you're in the market and you want to save a little bit, head on over to my TikTok. I'm going to be putting out videos daily on the Pro controller, and so you just got to click the little orange cart and you can pick it up if you want to. So, and the other thing I want to mention is that Elgato's got some crazy stuff planned for Black Friday. So if you're in the market for content creation gear, you just want to maybe up your game for Zoom calls, whatever the case may be, with some lighting or better microphones, whatever, n64josh.com/Elgato, and stay tuned, because there's some great stuff on the way, some great sales. So Ty, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. I think Ty is asking immediately about Kirby Air Riders, and that's the footage I have on screen right now. And so we can chat about it real quick. So you're seeing City Trial right now, and yes, is it any good? I'm having a good time with it. It doesn't feel like a game I'm going to like jump in and play by myself for hours at a time. It's going to be jump online, hopefully get some friends involved. I have a feeling you play this game, and I know we say this all the time, so it's a bit of like, it's almost cliche at this point, but playing this with friends and having everybody chatting and everything, super fun. That's most games. I get it. So I don't want to take away from that, but even just the more I played it, the more I started to kind of understand it and pick up some of the nuance. And it's very simple, so it messes with your head a little bit because it's so easy. But once you kind of start like grasping the fact that it's like, okay, this is a very simple arcade style game, then it becomes a lot more fun. A lot more fun. Again, it might be kind of short spurts, like not something that you're going to spend hours and hours and hours with at a time, unless you've got friends that you're jumping in and playing with. But fantastic party game. And so I would say, especially if you've got younger kids, I had the 11-year-old test it in the house here, and he was like, when does this come out? Like, what, I need this, so it is fun. I don't think it is for everybody. I really don't. I will say that I don't know that it is for everybody. Like, and I a lot of the conversation from what I'm seeing online is like, is it worth my $70? And so that's going to be a different, that answer is going to be different for everybody. I had a good time with it. We've only seen technically 2 of the modes, and within those 2 modes, I had a good time. I enjoyed it. So if you have a Switch 2, try to jump in and play the global test drive this weekend and see for yourself. and who knows, they may add another mode, they may do something else, we don't know, we'll just have to wait and see. But fingers crossed that they do add, maybe let us try one more thing. I would love to be able to race online instead of just offline, and just to see how that goes. But obviously they're stress testing their servers with 16 people, so we'll just have to wait and see. But we're only 9 days out from the launch of this game anyway, so you guys will hear my full. I am getting into like reviewing games. So like my review for Pokemon Legends ZA coming soon. I'm even going to go back and do Donkey Kong. Like I want to start getting full reviews out for you guys on YouTube. So I will have a full review for Kirby Air Riders as well, because I think it's a lot of people want to make educated decisions, so I'm gonna give the best possible review I can, so that people can make those decisions with their hard-earned money. Well, getting into the news here, Pokemon. What is it? Pokepia, is that how you say it? Gets a March 2026 release date. Brand new trailer coming next week. This is from Nintendo Life. I saw the tweet from Nintendo this morning, and it is coming March 5th. And then on Thursday, November 13th at 6 a.m., the Pokemon Company will be sharing a trailer for the 2026 Switch 2 exclusive. And so there's one more piece of information here that I don't think is going to sit well with people. And unfortunately, there's a physical version of Pokemon Pokepia, but it's a game key card. It is a game key card. It is not the physical game. And so I know that's gonna frustrate some people. This game looks incredible to me, honestly. It looks like Pokemon and Animal Crossing had a baby, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it, honestly. I don't know how we're gonna play all these games. Like, we're getting a Pokemon cozy game, so it'll be interesting to see. Like, I'm kind of hoping that like it follows the path of Animal Crossing, where it's like, okay, you play the initial game, you get your island to 5 stars or whatever, and then it's just kind of a daily check-in if you want. Go and like catch some of the fish for the month you haven't caught yet or whatever. I'm curious how this will all play out in the end, but it looks really good. And I think it's gonna sit right in that Animal Crossing cozy spot that, like, by the time we maybe are done with the update, we've been playing the update from January to March, get 2 months in with Animal Crossing, maybe that kind of dies down, then Pokemon Pokepia comes out and fills that void again. So who knows? But I do know there's going to be frustration with the lack of a physical cart on this one. Well, speaking of Pokemon, Pokepark Kanto, the new Pokemon theme park, opens its doors in February. There is a trailer on YouTube, and there's a handful of pictures on Nintendo Life here. This thing looks incredible. It looks super, super cool. Seeing like the Pokestop and the different Pokemon out in the wild. There's a handful of little Eevees and a Pikachu. The photographer did an amazing job, by the way, with the shots they got here. Like, super, super cool. Looking at the article here, it says, well, there's a little something to make. Here's a little something to make you smile. The Pokemon Company has today shared another look at its upcoming theme park, Pokepark Kanto, and announced that gates will open on the 5th of February, 2026. Tickets to this new section of Tokyo's Yomiuri Land amusement park will open for Japanese residents on the 21st of November and will be distributed by lottery. There's currently no information on how those of us who live in other countries can nab tickets, but the official English booking website currently hosts a coming soon message. So keep an eye out for updates in the upcoming months. The article continues on. It says, what is this Poke Park all about? This permanent outdoor Pokemon experience, the first of its kind, surprisingly, is divided into 2 areas, the Pokemon Forest and Sedgetown. As the name implies, the forest area will be your chance to see Pokemon in the wild, and it looks really cool. It looks really, really cool. Okay, actually, it's just a bunch of statues dotted throughout a woodland walk, but you can expect photo ops aplenty with the likes of Pikachu, Eevee, and Nidoran. Sedgetown is more of a commercial area with a Poke Center and a Pokemart you can pop into for merch, rides like Pika Pika Paradise and VV Voyage, and the Sedge Gym show area. It all looks rather sweet, according to the article, if you ask us. And I agree. Like it really does look. It looks really cool. It looks really cool. So I'm adding it to the bucket list. I'm adding it to the bucket list. I would love to be able to go and check this place out in person. And the photos alone, they really sold me, honestly. Not that it would take much, but I've gotten bit by that Pokemon bug so bad. And we got the new episode of the Pokecast coming out today, recording that with Nico later. So that should be I'm really excited for that one. Going to the next headline here. Pikmin 4's free content update is out now, and here are the full patch notes. So we got word that Pikmin was going to be getting an update, and it's here. Nintendo surprised all of us last month when it announced Pikmin 4 would be getting a free content update at some point in November. Well, that point finally has a date. It's today. Yes, Pikmin has officially updated to 1.1.0 this morning, adding new gameplay options like difficulty modes, the field camera item, decor Pikmin, and more. It may not be the grand Switch 2 edition that we were all secretly hoping for, and you'll find no additional perks on the new hardware here, but it is an excuse to dive back into a new save file, and we could all do with that. So it says besides these content additions, the update also includes new control options, bonus Pikmin Bloom connectivity, and a handful of bug fixes. Now, for me, having connectivity with Pikmin Bloom, that if I were to really dive back into this, that would give me more reason to try Pikmin Bloom and to get back into that. And I love that they've stuck with it, honestly. It's, we've seen plenty of Nintendo apps come and go. Pikmin Bloom, they're sticking with. And I'm wondering if it has, like, if it's really picked up a following, like maybe in Japan, or maybe a lot of people play it here. I don't see a lot of people talking about the game, but maybe it's kind of a low cost of entry to be able to play it, and it's something that people do play on the regular. But I love this, and I want to see more of it. I want to see more connectivity between Nintendo's mobile apps and their mainline games, because it makes the mobile apps worth downloading and playing. And I also think it adds longevity if you're doing things in game. Not to mention, to me, it seems like it would be a great way to incentivize people to pick up the mainline games if they're playing the mobile game, knowing that they could be unlocking stuff in a game. It seems like a good marketing tool. So we'll see, if that ever comes to fruition. But I know, and again, my motivation and my thought behind all of this has to do with the way we could connect Game Boy to the GameCube, or Game Boy Advance to GameCube, or the way we could do, you could take your Mario Golf character from Game Boy Color and put it into your 64 Mario Golf game. That kind of stuff I love. So I would love to see more of that when it comes to mobile. And you guys have heard me talk about it before. So as far as the update for Pikmin 4 here, you can now choose from 3 different activity levels for your creatures: relaxed, normal, and fierce. They can be changed at any time from settings in the options. You can now take pictures with the field camera item and decorate them with stamps and frames. The field camera is added to your bag on the morning of day 2. If resuming save data from before the software is updated, it will be added to your bag when you return to the rescue command post and morning arrives. Decor Pikmin will now appear in the story. To have Decor Pikmin join your squad after rescuing the Rescue Corps Ranger Dingo, use the field camera to take pictures of Decor Pikmin. By sharing the data of Decor Pikmin who have joined your squad in the full version of Pikmin 4 with the smart device application, Pikmin Bloom, you can also get seedlings for those same Decor Pikmin in Pikmin Bloom, and you can send the Nintendo account ID and discovered Decor Pikmin data when you finish exploration on the day the Decor Pikmin was discovered. The Nintendo account must be the same between users using Pikmin 4 and the one playing Pikmin Bloom. You can now use rollover, in which you begin another playthrough carrying over some of the save data on file that was cleared in the story. So almost like a new game plus. So that's kind of cool. And there are a handful of other things, some newly added controls. You can switch between enabling or disabling auto target lock for the cursor. And let's see, you can select either cursor or player avatar as the center point of the whistle, which is kind of cool. And you may now select normal or precise for the speed of the arrow that appears when you hold down X to aim. Setting this to precise will make it easier to adjust the direction of the Pikmin's charge and Otachi's rush. So really cool to see this game getting some love. Is it enough to draw you back in? Of course, let me know in the comments. Let me know over on Spotify. I would love to hear if you guys will be jumping back into Pikmin 4. Speaking of updates, the Pro Controller, the Switch 2 Pro Controller now has an update. So make sure that you take care of that. And it looks like the update has been made in audio and system settings. The ability to change the audio mode for a wirelessly connected Switch 2 Pro Controller was added. Stable or low latency can be selected. Low latency will reduce audio latency when compared to stable, but may be more subject to interference in some wireless environments. So that's kind of cool. I've been testing, and I'm going to be working on a video. I've been testing different headsets, different gaming headsets, and so I have a handful of basically 4 different headsets, and that I'm gonna review for you guys, because I'm always on the lookout for like what is the best option for the Switch. Like, playing handheld. If you want to do voice chat, I believe you can't use wireless at this point. I think that is still a thing, which is a bummer because my nicest set of headphones are wireless. They're Bluetooth, but I can't do voice chat with those. Whereas if you plug into your controller, you plug into the Switch with a wired headset, you're good to go. So I've tested. I've got three different wired headsets we're going to be looking at, and then the Cadillac wireless ones from Corsair, which I absolutely love. So that video will be coming soon, hopefully later this week. Another update: the Switch 2 system update. 21.0.0 is now live, and there are some patch notes here, and it's more than just stability, if you guys can believe it. It says added symbols above software icons displaying on the home menu to indicate whether the software is physical or digital. I like that a lot. When multiple software downloads are in progress, there is now an option to cancel all. That's nice. I don't know if you guys have been in that situation where you're like, you go to play a game and then a bunch of things start to update. That just happened to me recently. And then you just got to wait for stuff to finish. It looks like you can now cancel all, which is great. If a console bundle includes a software download, there will now be an icon to receive software. It will display if the system is connected to the internet. The icon will launch Nintendo eShop, and you can proceed to the downloadable software. You can still receive the software by navigating to the eShop from the home menu directly. That's very nice. Nice update there. When finding users to send friend requests, the search for user you've played with option under Add a Friend now includes people you've interacted with in your friends' game chat rooms. Very cool. Added the ability to download data from a virtual card, even if you use online license setting is turned off. That's nice. That's nice. Cryptic said, it's 6:50. Why so early? Well, it's almost 10 for me. It's almost 10, but good morning. Good to see you. We're still drinking our coffee and doing some Nintendo news, This is the ability to download. Let's see. That's nice. The ability to download data for a virtual card, even if you use online license setting turned off. I like that. This option is available in the options of a virtual game card when accessed via virtual game cards from the home menu. The following updates have been made to Game Chat. The game will not automatically go to sleep while chatting. The options to turn off chat audio panning has been added. Chat can continue if the console goes from TV mode to handheld or table mode, where this scenario changes the internet from wired connection to wireless. That's cool. That's pretty rad, honestly. The following updates have been made to accessibility in the systems. When used, text-to-speech is turned on. The description of the predictive conversion character on the Japanese keyboard is now read out loud. The upper limit of text-to-speech speed was increased from 300% to 400%. Cryptic said, just say you don't care about West Coasters. Come on now. Or I'm sorry, Nadian Nay said, just say you don't care about West. I do care. I do care a lot. Cryptic said, this is like a Nintendo Direct, right? Yeah, exactly. So the following updates have been made to display and system settings. HDR output has been renamed to System Screens HDR output. Improve the screen display when adjusting screen size to make it easier to adjust. I was kind of hoping there was a bit more to their. I was hoping there would be a bit more to the HDR. That hopefully it gets updated soon. Because right now it's not easy to set on to get it set correctly on every TV, and hopefully that is fixed in the near future here. There's also some updates to notifications. The option Platinum Point notification was renamed Nintendo Switch Online notification. The following updates have been made in system and system settings. Stop charging around 90% was renamed to stop charging around 80 to 90%. Thai and Polish were added to the list of options under language. And then, of course, general stability and improvements to enhance the user experience. We can't miss that one. That's got to be there every single time. Well, this morning, I was taking advantage of this update, and that is the Nintendo Music adds another Kirby soundtrack. And we have 115 tracks from Kirby's Dream Buffet. That was not one I was expecting anytime soon, honestly, or ever. But here we are. And there's 115 tracks. We were checking it out on the ride to school this morning. And I'm not going to go through and read every single one of these because there's a ton, but they did kind of slap. They did like the music. I have yet to find any music on this app that I'm not thoroughly enjoying. That like it's such a cool thing to have. The only thing I wish there was a web application. Because a lot of times I'm working at my computer and I would love to just fire that up. I end up going to YouTube and just putting on, whatever soundtrack, the Odyssey or the Mario Wonder soundtrack, or sometimes I'll do like some atmospheric Metroid stuff, like it's like Metroid music with rain or whatever. I'll put that on if I just got my head down and I'm editing video or whatever. So, but I would love a web app for the Nintendo Music just to be able to listen to, or even, make an app that we could download on Mac and Windows. That would be great too. So hopefully something like that happens in the future. Nintendo's Black Friday has quite a few deals on Switch One games, Amiibo, and more. Taking a look here, it says Nintendo is back with preparations for another year of Black Friday discounts. As of today, it detailed a bunch of Switch One games, Amiibo, and a micro SD card that will be going on sale. A micro SD Express, so 256. I think I'll probably take advantage of this and end up picking one of these up. So that's kind of cool. It's $20 off. I think it's happening on Cyber Monday for the Express SD card. So it says kicking off things with those games from November 23rd. A lineup of select first-party titles will be dropping down to $29.99 or $39.99 at select U.S. retailers. So these are physical. I'm assuming the same will be they'll also be digital as well. The eShop should have these sales, I would assume, if you want to pick them up digitally. And so we got Princess Peach Showtime, $39.99. Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, $39.99. Donkey Kong Country HD, $39.99. Luigi's Mansion 3, $39.99. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, $39.99. Super Mario Odyssey, $29.99. Nintendo Switch Sports, $29.99. Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, $29.99, and Splatoon 3, $29.99. So pretty cool to see a handful of first party, like stellar titles getting those sales. I love that. Taking a look at chat real quick. Cryptic says, yeah, I use my Switch on my monitor because my TV doesn't have the feature to calibrate it right for HDR. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Well, I'm the opposite. I can get my HDR calibrated correctly on my TV. Where I struggle is with my monitor, and then even with so what I found out is the capture card got an update on PC, so HDR comes out good, but it's not, I don't think it's been updated for Mac quite yet. So HDR ends up looking blown out in my game footage when I'm trying to record, and the majority of the time I'm playing, I'm recording. So I have to have HDR off, but it's a bit of a bummer that they're not synced up. That like my LG monitor and my LG TV aren't the same when it comes to the HDR settings, and so it's just I use HDR on the TV and I don't in my office, unfortunately. So it's kind of interesting that we're flip flop there. But back to the sales, a select lineup of Nintendo's new amiibo will be subjected to a discount, mind you, with 4 Tears of the Kingdom Sage amiibo. That's Tulin, Yunobo, Riju, and Sidon. Street Fighter 6 series, Jamie, Kimberly, and Luke, and the starter set are seeing a $10 discount at select retailers. And finally, Nintendo announced that it'll be introducing a seasonal $20 savings on the Samsung Micro SD Express card on the 30th of November. This one could be worth keeping an eye on if you're aiming to pick up more Switch 2 software over the holiday period. Yeah, so that is that's your Black Friday deals. Some great stuff on there. I posted this yesterday, and immediately Nate was like, "Yo, I forgot about Echoes." Like, there you go, get it at a discount. Get it at a discount. So Nate says it's kind of weird. Remember I unfortunately I bought my C4 LG like right as the C5 was coming out. I didn't even know that was happening. The C5 is a tad bit brighter than the C4, but I was also having those issues where the output was getting messed up, where I couldn't see games like Cyberpunk or anything that was set to 120 would output incorrectly on the TV, and it would make this little like weird like droplet animation and say no format not supported or something like that. So they finally fixed that, thankfully. But also I want to point out, if you guys are watching the footage right now, I somehow managed to fall off I fell off the island in City Trials. I didn't even know that was possible. There's like invisible walls everywhere, but I was trying out the tank here, and I was like, the tank keeps moving even when you try to turn. And if you're watching the footage right now, you're going to see I manage to fall right off of the island. And like I said, I didn't know you could do that. I did not. I thought there was invisible walls keeping that from happening, but nope. I figured it out. I figured it out. So there you go. They get a good laugh right there at my expense. Okay, well, last thing we're going to look at here is a rumor before we jump into the main topic, and some racing. New Crash Bandicoot racing artwork has some fans excited, and so this looks like it's a post over on Reddit. The article reads, Crash Bandicoot hasn't been cited for a while now, but Crash fans think they might have spotted something that could be tied to a new game project, or at least a return in some way or form. This development comes from official Beenox social media account. Beenox, in case you need a refresher, is the same team that worked on Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled and has also helped out with Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. Earlier this week, the developer uploaded a banner featuring Crash in a cart, and then removed it shortly after. What's interesting is that it appears to be based on Crash's character model from the 4th Outing, a title that was released well after the most recent racing game. So that's all there is to it. There's nothing else here, but kind of strange that they would release a photo, and it does look like the updated model of Crash. The cart looks kind of cool, honestly. It's given me some Sonic crossover vibes, So we could be getting another Crash Team Racing. I honestly look at Mario Kart World and think it took a bit of inspiration from Crash Team Racing. Honestly, the kind of bouncy effects of Mario Kart World and kind of the way it controls a little bit. I get some Crash Team Racing vibes. So I hope the next game is absolutely stellar. Let's see, Longaroo, if I said that correctly, Oh, hi. Decided to start watching your channel after Nintendo Bite. Pretty interesting stuff you got here. Yo, well, welcome. So glad you're here. Cryptic says, very surprised if it's just Switch 1 and disappointing. I thought Mario Kart World would have a sale. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you think like Nintendo doesn't put their stuff on sale for quite a few, like it usually takes a couple years, right? So I wasn't, I didn't expect any kind of Donkey Kong. You know, what you might see go on sale is Welcome Tour and Dragon Drive, like just trying to boost those numbers a bit. That would probably be the stuff we'd see go on sale. Not that I don't agree with you. It would be great to see those games get some sales, but I mean, technically Mario Kart World is already a $30 discount. So it's, I mean, that's honestly that's the bundle to get for Christmas this year. And hopefully that's what a lot of kids are going to see under the tree. So Nadine Nay said, I'm surprised Mario Kart World didn't get, or Mario Kart 8 didn't have a sale. I do kind of wonder if they're going to have it bundled with the Switch again. You know, they're not mentioning anything, but I do wonder if that's going to hit retail again too. So, and let's see. Longer says, I hope this means we get a spectacle racer for F-Zero, though it probably will be a while anyway. Yo, getting some F-Zero would be fantastic. It would be so good. Nate says they probably don't want a conflict with World sales. That could be the case too. You know, so let's see. Longer says Kirby Air Rider might be the first game fully developed on the Switch 2 since it's using a brand new engine from AAA development from Bandai. Yes, yeah, I did see that. I almost added it to the. I thought I had it in my notes here, but I'm not seeing it in my tabs. But yes, I did see that this is running on an engine from Bandai Namco, which is super cool. Well, I want to get into our main topic. What's next? What's next for Super Mario? There was an interview with Shigeru Miyamoto, so let's chat about it. Well, we're taking a look at an article from My Nintendo News, and it says the legendary video game creator Shigeru Miyamoto has sat down with Japanese art and architecture magazine Casa Brutus to talk all things Mario. While he has stepped away from the video game development, Miyamoto says that he plays the first 30 minutes of a new entry to be assured that it feels thoroughly like a new Mario adventure. It says, nowadays, I have teammates who help maintain the world of Mario, so I entrust much of it to them. He said, even so, I always personally play through the first 30 minutes of the game and check the interface thoroughly to make sure it feels like Mario. Miyamoto spoke of the eagerly awaited Super Mario Galaxy movie, which he's confident will deliver the fun and thrill which viewers are expecting. He is heavily involved in the production of the movie and says that the main thing is that he wants the film to be fun. Here's the quote. It says, the Super Mario Brothers movie was possible because so many people took action and worked together. Miyamoto said via machine translation, as a producer, I tried to make sure that the team functioned smoothly. Many of the people involved said they'd like to work on the next project as well. So I guess that means we succeeded to some extent. The setting for the next movie is just as the title says, the galaxy. That's all I can really say. We're in the final stages of production now, but I think it's going to be fun. I usually just say I'll keep working until it becomes fun. So that alone should tell you how confident I am. And then he laughs. I love that. That's that's so great. So the next up, this is the series is busy celebrating the 40th anniversary, and Mr. Miyamoto says that he looks back on the classic games fondly. He admits that back when development of Super Mario World on the SNES was finished, he thought the team can't do any better, and then new technology came along in the shape of the Nintendo 64, and they were able to bring about a 3D Mario platform experience. And this is kind of where I want to camp. I want to camp on this. We're going to look at the quotes, and then I've got some thoughts on this. So this is, by the time we finished Super Mario World, I felt we had thoroughly explored what could be done with Mario in 2 dimensions. He said then when we moved into 3D with Super Mario 64, It brought back memories from my childhood. With the help of many passionate people outside of our company, Mario has expanded into theme parks and movies, and I'm really looking forward to how things will develop from here, he said. Uh, Up through Super Mario Odyssey, I feel like we've done just about everything we could on the Switch. In the past, whenever a new console came out, we always released a new Mario game. So I don't wonder how the current team will take on that challenge. Or so I do wonder how the current team will take on that challenge. But maybe I'll say, I won't look anymore. I'll just stay healthy until Mario's 50th anniversary. And so I think, and I know some of you guys in here right now that are in the live chat, you lived through Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 2, Mario 3, and then Super Mario World. And I do feel like we had Mario 64, it came out in 3D, but the handhelds were still going strong. And instead of seeing any kind of new 2D games, we were seeing remakes of the first games get put on Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. And I always thought that was strange. Even as a kid, I'm like, why did we have to stop playing 2D Mario games? And so it's very interesting to see him say, we felt like we had thoroughly explored what could be done with Mario in 2 dimensions. And I don't really know how to put my finger on it, other than like it just seemed like I could feel that, I could sense that, and it never really sat well with me. I always wanted to see what could be next, like the creativity that came from those teams of what was in 3 and then what was in World. Like, I don't feel like we really saw again until Wonder, and I adore Wonder. I absolutely adore Wonder, and want like that. Wonder was the game I wanted when New Super Mario Brothers came out, because the New Super Mario Brothers series, it never quite captured that magic for me. There was a bit of sterileness to it, and I almost feel like they may have benefited from staying as like a 2D HD and being pixel art. There was just always something about them. Like, I played through them, they were fun, but they never captured that magic that 3 and World and even the first game captured. There was something just so special about those games. And so to hear him say that they felt like they could do all they could do, it's like, I almost wonder if they needed some fresh blood, like some, a little bit of fresh perspective, somebody coming in, because I would have loved to see the stuff that happened in Wonder come out, 20 years ago. Like, I felt like the formula was relatively simple. Put the Koopa kids or Bowser in the castles like they did in 3 and World, and keep that going. Give us new places to explore, and give us cool new power-ups, and really get creative with the power-ups. I feel like there was plenty of new power-ups that they could do, and we saw those in Wonder. We saw the bubble flower, the elephant, but I thought it was great watching them in 3 like become a Hammer Brother. Like, what? That was crazy. I also think Wonder could have benefited from old power-ups coming back. The Fire Flower has always been a staple, but why hasn't the leaf? Mario could fly in World, so give us the feather, give us the leaf. They could have acted a little bit differently together. These are questions I asked even as a child. That I just always wondered about. I'm like, why did some of the coolest power-ups just get left behind while others got to move forward in time? And we have seen like the Tanuki suit come back, and it was in the movie, these are questions I've had my whole life of, like, and we did see the leaf come back in New Super Mario Brothers 2, and that was great. Like, that was like, yes, do more of that. Do do more of that. Like I loved it. So I'm gonna take a look at the chat here. Cryptic says, I don't know if you ever played Sonic Generations, but a 3D 2D adventure would be unique for Mario, where he interacts with his past self. Yeah, I've championed stuff like that for quite some time. I would love it. I would love to see a game that, you know, Bowser goes through the generations, and you know, maybe he captures different Peaches, but then takes them to different times. So you play, you know, World 8-4 and Super Mario Brothers, but you capture you're rescuing Peach from Mario World, something along those lines, or different kings. How, you know, whoever Mario's out rescuing. Like I feel like there could be some pretty fun and creative storytelling to be done there. And the thing is, like, the story has never really been the thing that drew me into Mario games. It was always the gameplay. It was just playing as Mario, adventuring as Mario, taking out Bowser, taking out the Koopa kids, like, and just that was the fun of all of it. The story was kind of just you know, something on the side, more or less. So, Longer says, even with Wonder, how many people were disappointed with the exclusion of the Koopalings? So now it gets rectified with the new update. And so there's almost a pattern. There's kind of a pattern where when they use Bowser Jr., the Koopalings come after. And so I honestly really expected it. I didn't know if we would see it in a brand new game, or if we would see an update like this. And and now I got Nate sending his texts in chat. I love that. I was like, okay. He just randomly says my mom likes football, but yeah. So I'm not super surprised that the Koopalings are making a return, and I'm really glad that they are. They are my favorite. Like they are such a nostalgia pull for me. There's nothing against Bowser Jr., right? But the Koopalings being in 3 and World, and those being some of the most iconic games in the history of gaming, I love the Koopalings. I think it's great. So really glad to see Miyamoto is still involved with so much with Mario. I love his quote about the Super Mario Galaxy movie, saying that, like, you know, I will keep working until it becomes fun. So, you know, that alone should tell you how confident I am. I'm really looking forward to the movie. Very, very excited for the movie. And you know, he's been a part of Magic for so long, 40 years. 40 years we've been playing with Mario, and so many fun memories throughout those years. And just very grateful for the work that he has done and continues to do. And you know, we want him to stay healthy for Mario's 50th as well. That would be fantastic. And that's going to be a crazy anniversary. I bet I really hope they pull out all the stops on that one. So we'll just have to wait and see. But that's going to do it for today's Nintendo News Daily. I am shooting to be back at 9 p.m. tonight for just another. I can't call it Nintendo Voice Chat because that's IGN's show. So I'm trying to come up with a fun name for it. But it's literally just like a couple of topics, and chat kind of controls the conversation, because I just want to hang out and chat with you guys. So that's what we're doing each night at 9 p.m. Eastern. 9 p.m. Eastern is the goal. Again, stuff is kind of in flux until December, and then the schedule will really start to like flatten out and be regular. That's what we're hoping for. So Brandon says, I'm coming in late. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing awesome. Thank you so much for being here. One final comment from Nate here. It says, this needs to be a big Mario, I think, for the second wave of install bases to reel in the casuals. Yeah, talking Wonder, right? And I hope it is. I hope the update for Wonder is essentially another game, another full blown game. That's my hope anyway. So we'll just have to wait and see. It is coming soon. I'm hoping it's around February. That's what I'm hoping. I don't think we have a date yet on it though, so we'll just have to wait and see what they end up doing and how much they're adding. They could be adding, like I said, it could be adding a whole game's worth. If you got all the Koopalings, that's the potential for eight new worlds. So, with 3D Mario, Nate says, okay, there we go. Gotcha with 3D Mario. Yeah. And I mean, they've already shown that the sales are strong with new adopters at 15% of people that have bought Switch 2 being new to the ecosystem. That's fantastic. That's great. So the next 3D Mario, I agree, it does need to be huge. And I do feel like he's kind of like what does he say? He's like, there was something in these quotes that made me think like he almost mentions the team. Like he says, yeah, up through Super Mario Odyssey, I feel like we've done just about everything we could do on the Switch. In the past, whenever a new console came out, we always released a new Mario game. So I do wonder how the current team will take on that challenge. So I feel like there's something being hinted at, just a little bit. How far out it is? That's a great question. That is a great question. So Langora says, I hope it's meaty, but if you mean, I hope we get that. Super Mario Galaxy 3. Okay. And it'll be interesting to see if they went that direction. I wouldn't be mad at it. I don't know. I feel like anybody that loves the Galaxy games would be like, yes. Anybody that doesn't is kind of like, wait. I don't like, we talked about it last night. Nate's like, I can't deal with the motion controls, which is such a bummer because it's such a fantastic, couple of games that, yeah, it'd be nice if they do Mario Galaxy 3, if that's the direction they went, then at the very least keep the motion controls optional, So, Brandon, we'll go full circle on this. Pokepia was our first topic, but he says, what do you think about Pokepia being $70? Wario tweeted about it earlier. I mean, I'm going to get it, but honestly thought it would be a bit less. I'm like, I'll be honest. I kind of, okay. My initial thought from looking at the game is that I assumed it would be, one, I did not think it would be physical at all. Two, I thought it would kind of be like a side game, like coming in like around $40 is just my initial thought looking at the game. Like, oh, this is one of their one-offs. Sounds like they're treating it more like a full retail release. That gets me excited, but now I kind of want to know more about it. Like I'm going to go back and watch the trailer on it and see like how I feel about that price point and everything. And I do think, like we've said many times on the show, I think it's going to, people are going to want to make those very informed decisions. Like there's not as much just buying stuff on a whim. So I want to learn more. I want to learn more before I give my entire 2 cents on it. But initially I thought it would be like a $40, like, oh, this is a one-off game. It's kind of so if it's a full retail release, that makes me go, okay, well, what's the level of content here? How big is it? What are the plans for it? Like, I mean, Animal Crossing is a game that you play year after year after year, and they continue events. So is that what's going to be happening here? I think we're just going to have to wait and see. But Brandon says, yeah, it was looking like a spinoff, but I need to know more for sure. And I think that's going to be the majority of us now. At thinking about that game at like $40, like a Pokemon meets Animal Crossing, I was like, this is a no-brainer. It just became not as much of a no-brainer, I think, is really where I'm at. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'll dig a little bit more. Like I said, I'm going to watch the trailer again And I know it's going to be frustrating for people seeing the game key cards. Like I said that at the very beginning of the show. So that those are a bit of a tough pill to swallow for a lot of people, which is, to each their own, right? Like I get it. Those physical collectors want their physical games. And surprised to see essentially first party, with Pokemon be a key card is a bit interesting. So we'll just have to wait and see. But that's going to do it for this episode of Nintendo News Daily. Remember, guys, play it loud.